What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, today's video is going to be an extremely interesting one because we finally have some legitimate, real proof, evidence that the content creators, influencers, whoever you want to call them, who get flown out to these events, free flights, free hotel rooms, free food, get to try out the game early, give their initial impressions, get footage, so on and so forth. Every single year, it always seems that they are so overly positive, hyping up the game to a brand new extreme every single year, saying it's going to outbeat the previous titles every single year, so on and so forth. We know the routine. But finally, after all this time, the cycle is going to be officially broken. Now, of course, for a lot of people, we understand that, this is just typical marketing. I don't think it catches anybody off guard why these individuals always have an overabundance of positive stuff to say after being flown out for free to go, play the game. A lot of people understand this, but there is still a huge portion in the community who heavily base their opinions off of their favorite content creators. And again, Activision knows this. But like I said, once again, finally, this line is going to be broken, and I think that this marketing scheme, this horrible, disgusting scheme, at some point might not even be used by Activision anymore, and I don't know how Activision will be able to hide anymore. But like I said, before we go ahead and get into the actual topic of today's video, I do want to mention we are on the grind to 50,000 subscribers on this channel. If you guys want to go ahead and support us, help us out, or if you just simply enjoy the content that you hear in this video today, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button and also the bell notification button. And also at the same time, we've been planning on actually giving Kick, the new streaming site, a little bit of a try. I don't know if I'm going to make it official or anything like that, but if you do want to help out our grind over there, we do stream every day over on Twitch right now. If you guys want to see me stream, I'm going to be back live on Wednesday. Like I said, over on Twitch, link to that is down in the description of this video. But Sunday, we will have a test stream over on Kick. We'll give it a go. If you guys want to leave a follow, I'll leave all the links to that stuff in the description of this video for, like I said, absolutely everything. We'll see how it goes, man. I've heard some iffy things about the site, some good, some bad, but overall, it seems like everybody that I know personally who has already switched over is beyond happy, so I'm a little curious. I just want to see what it's going to be like. So, ladies and gentlemen, over on Twitter, Modern Warzone posted a video. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and showcase the video right now. You can check out his own Twitter page and you can see it for yourself. I'm just going to quickly summarize it. But basically, in that video, he went ahead and exposed the fact that pretty much everybody behind the scenes who got hands-on with Modern Warfare 2 all came to the conclusion that the game was not good. That the game was, basically just not in a good state. A lot of the things that we saw with Modern Warfare 2019, things like, for example, the minimap not being resolved, things and problems still occurring within the game, they did not enjoy, but they still pushed through with the positive feedback. This game is the best game of all time. Modern Warfare 2 is going to be, a banger. Warzone 2 is going to absolutely blow Warzone 1 out of the water. Things being said like that happen so frequently when these influencer events happen. And like I said, for a good chunk, I would say the majority of people watching this video already know that, again, like I said, it's to be expected when these influencers go out and do these things. But it's nothing but bad for the overall community, and I'll tell you why. It's bad because we, the community, don't get our fixes. A big chunk of these communities, or these gaming communities, run off of these huge influencers who get flown out to these events, who present their first initial impressions, and it is a lot of people, like I said in the intro, that will only follow what they say. If they say that this game is banging, you best believe that Activision will probably be raking in millions of dollars. It's a serious investment for Activision. This is no joke, but it involves lying to their community. And again, shout out to Modern Warzone for this, because he didn't even have to go ahead and put this video together and apologize at all. I mean, no other influencer or content creator has done anything of this sort. They like I said, they took the check and they walked. It is what it is. And the game continues going in the direction that's going, and they go off to their next event, whatever they have to do next, and once again, make another check. But I feel like Modern Warzone has a little bit more of a personal connection to this game because, again, his channel revolves around Warzone. He loves Warzone. So instead of just moving on to the next check, after the fact, the game still has to pretty much be good. It has to thrive. And again, it's opened his eye, and I'm sure a lot of other, content creators' eyes. Hopefully this will start a trend that a lot more people will start accepting, and they will start being truthful to their audiences so we can get something better. Because I'm going to tell you right now, Call of Duty will see absolutely no changes until their source of income is cut off, until they stop bringing in money. And the reason that they keep getting money is exactly stuff like this. You have to understand there is a massive casual side who will easily just see a commercial on TV and they'll already, cough up money. And then they have influencers who have millions and millions and millions of people watching them on the regular. Just imagine the millions of people, if they can even just get 1 million out of the 10 million that might be watching these individuals. 1 million times, each person buys a $60 to $100 copy. Actually, it's $70 now, 100 plus copy. That is absurd. Again, like I said, it's much bigger than a lot of people even think. These influencers are money bags to Activision, and the influencers go along with it because they get a money bag as well. But the result is the game will never get better. They have no reason to make it better. They get their initial check, and they're good to go. The ship has sailed, and they move on to the next game. They repeat the same process. There's no need to invest money into the development cycle of the game or the after development cycle, the live service, quote unquote, while they're fixing up the game in the middle. There's no reason for them to, try to get their hardcore fans back or, please to their core audience, because who cares? They're going to bring in so much freaking money. The only way to change this is to cut the source of income, and that's the way to do so. Being honest, Modern Warfare 2 is already on its deathbed right now. Let's be realistic. Call of Duty is really in a bad spot. It's in a horrible spot. So we are heading in a decent enough direction to where Activision might open their eyes a little bit. But this is the next step. If the influencers go out to the next event and they are actually truthful about how the game is, I guarantee that we might see either changes or I don't know what will happen, but something will occur. Either Activision will completely never do this ever again, which will cut off millions, like I said, millions of potential clients every single year, or they listen to the community. They keep the influencers that they keep paying, the influencers who bring in all of these millions of individuals to come play their game, and things become better. But that will never happen if these influencers keep getting finessed by the bag. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them because, if only one person comes out like Modern Warzone, if only he steps out, he just put himself at risk. Let's be honest. Let's be low-key honest here. He put himself at risk for singling himself out of the whole overall crowd. The only way this will work if all influencers combine forces and do it together, which Modern Warzone said they all felt the same way. So realistically, all the influencers are still being absolutely absurdly fake, lying to their communities, and Modern Warzone right now is the only individual who has stepped out and actually spoken the truth, which, like I said, will put him at risk. Activision doesn't care. They'll just cut one person out of the log and have the rest of them still do the same thing. No difference. But like I said, if every person who didn't like it behind the scenes stood up and stuck up for their communities, spoke the truth, then Activision will be held accountable. Their only source of income would be from the super casuals. And let's be real here. Times are changing. As times go on, people are starting to understand. The internet age is slowly coming in. Honestly, TV commercials aren't even that big of a deal anymore when it comes to advertising these games. Literally, I believe personally that these influencers probably bring in just as much, if not more, because like I said, there's millions of people who watch these individuals. I think I read somewhere that literally the gaming scene is almost, if not bigger than multiple different sporting events, multiple different, television, everything. It's insane. It's insane how much money this brings. That's why it's so serious right now. That's why there's so many patents in place. That's why there's so many things that are being done behind the scenes to basically multiply their cash as fast as possible because they know the money that is in the scene. Gaming is no longer small. That's why we don't get passionate projects anymore. That's why we don't get games with love, because it's no longer small like that. These developers don't have the freedom that they used to. They're now being treated as basically money bags by these publishers. But back to the main point here. That's the only way we'll get a change. That's the only way we'll be able to get anything done in the game. We have to cut off everything. We have already gotten the hardcore base out. Like I said, the game, viewership-wise, is dying. The hardcore base is done, okay? It's been dwindling every single year, and every single year people say they're done, but it still thrives on a little bit. No, this year it's done. Warzone 2, over. Multiplayer, over. Seriously, it's no joke nowadays. COD is in a rough spot. So the hardcore base is gone. And like I said, they have two more sources where they can rely on. The super duper duper casual crowd, which once again, they can't thrive off that forever. As times evolve, That's it. I mean, if this world goes on, I don't know if this world will go on, but if it goes on and we have another 20, 30, 40 years down the road, times will change. People will change. Personalities will change. So relying on that method is going to slowly dwindle out. Content creators and these big influencers are only going to keep growing. Their popularity will keep growing. Whether that's a good or bad thing, I don't know. That's up to you guys to say. Honestly, I want to know your guys' opinion. Leave it down in the comment section. But at the end of the day, something's going to happen, and that's going to be a major bag of money right there for them. And if they lose that bag of money, they will act. I promise you, they will act. But nobody in that group speaks up about the core issues. And I'll be honest, it's hard to get those core issues spoken about because a lot of the influencers, they fly out barely even main COD anymore. A lot of them play other games, they play other Battle Royale experiences, or they might even just be coming for Warzone 2, honestly. Multiplayer has been just so neglected for so long, and the core multiplayer Call of Duty community won't speak. And there are a lot of people who are big enough, who might not still play Call of Duty, but they still, understand what 6v6 COD is all about, who know these problems, but again, they won't speak out. They won't talk about it. They want to keep the checks coming. It's a really messed up situation we're in here, ladies and gentlemen. But again, I just want to say this because I am proud that Modern Warzone has spoken out about this. I hope the word can get out to enough people about how everybody felt behind the scenes so they can understand when these events happen. Don't be finessed by the influencers. Please, you have to understand, wait until you can get your own hands on and then give a legitimate, impression. And hopefully, others will follow suit. Hopefully others will follow suit because that's the only way this will continue. If nobody else will stand up and stick up for the communities and actually talk about the problems within this game, then we'll keep going down the same dark path. But if this starts a trend right here and Modern Warzone can somehow, some way get everybody behind the scenes to actually stand up and do something about it, then maybe we will. We have seen a lot of people quit Modern Warfare 2, top dog names. This is the first time ever in Call of Duty history I've ever seen so many top tier creators quit the bag from Call of Duty. Because it's risky. You got to be honest. Being a content creator, branching out, switching to a different game, it's very risky. It's very risky. You have to understand. It's all an algorithm game. So doing something of that sort is not a small thing to do, especially when your channel is so big and established at that point. You don't want to mess it up. If it's small enough, okay, I can take a few hits. So let's mess around, try some different stuff out. But when you establish your channel off of something and you build it for so long off of something, the last thing you want to do is, switch it and take the chance. Honestly, I think it's worth it. I think it's worth trying out different stuff, talking about different stuff. It's great for your mental health. But again, for other people, it's hard to do so. But regardless, they still quit. They are taking the risk. They would rather take the risk than sit through these egotistical developers and these horrible publishers. We're already so close. We're so close. We really are to being where we should be. We just need the final touch. If we can get that final touch, we are set. We are in there. But again, the community has to work together. If the community can work together, we can get things done. If we're all on separate pages, then we can't get things done. And again, that doesn't mean, you can't like this game or something. No, it just means understand the problems, understand the ego, and understand what's going on behind the scenes. If you enjoy the core game, like I always say all the time, Modern Warfare 2 core gameplay-wise, I enjoy the gunplay. I like the toned-back movement. It feels a little bit more traditional. I like the map designs that they changed up in the game. I honestly do. I like the base maps. So be it. But at the end of the day, I can still accept what's going wrong here. I can still accept that Infinity Ward is ignoring the whole overall community. They're not changing anything for us. They're not listening to anything that's being said. We're not stupid. We can see when we are being completely dissed. And also behind the scenes with skill-based matchmaking, patents, everything Activision is doing that is dirty and scummy for the overall Call of Duty franchise. Come on now. We know what's happening here, and we have to be realistic about it so we can get real changes, because if we don't get real changes, then you might as well just kiss Call of Duty goodbye. But ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like. Moments I hate it, leave a dislike. Also, if you're brand new, enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button. Also, want to chat with us too, we do so. I have a Twitter and Discord, both linked down in the description. And also, if you want to catch me live streams of video games over on Twitch, link that's in the description as well. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you on the next one. Peace out.